Hello, people out there in viewing land, Texas, other states, across the pond, other countries. This is the Texas Coalition Against Data Centers, or the Texas Connection, or Chat with TA. And I'm the adorable TA.
And I'm Miriam.
And today we're going to talk about something exciting and riveting. I could talk about this for hours. It's the Incident Command System. I would also like to dedicate this show to some friends of mine because they're going to watch. I know they are. Mr. Curtis, he's going to be out there watching. And yes, Mark and Robert, this is a much shorter version than y'all had to do with several weeks of me teaching the ICS.
Well, it's nice to know we have 3 guaranteed viewers.
At least 3 guaranteed viewers. I'm considered a subject matter expert instructor trainer with the state of Texas and also with DOD. So, with that being said, let me make sure we get that clear. I did mention DOD, the Department of Defense. That would mean that if you're with the Department of Defense, you know what the ICS is, as soon as I said Incident Command System. If you're a first responder, in the state of Texas, you have to have at least the ICS, and that's fire, police, or EMT, so you know exactly what I'm talking about there. And if you work at some of the state agencies, you have to have much longer than that. That's the guys I just referred to. They had to put up with me a lot longer than that. And Mr. Braswell, to you, yes, it is a shorter version than the one that you structured for HHSC back then. So we're going to get
what
it.
About the rest of us?
The rest of us are going to get the shorter version. Generally speaking, at some of the state agencies, you got a whole hour with me, and Mr. Curtis will tell you that's a lot of time there. And he had to keep a clock in the back of the room just to keep me on track for that 1 hour.
But what's the purpose of the ICS as we relate it to data centers?
Well, the ICS actually, it sounds like it could be used for a lot of stuff, which it can be. A lot of the stuff is bad because I mentioned, for instance, the military uses it to move around equipment and things and resources for different operations that they're doing. I mentioned the fire for sure. Any fire department operates under ICS, especially all those that are going on in California and other places. We see them on the news every day. They operate under an incident command system. We've seen it operate in Austin, Texas, during hostage negotiation and crisis situations and others. But I can tell you this: the cool part about this is, and this is where I get excited, I can teach you how to use the ICS for birthday parties, parades, or all other kind of fun things. I mean, you can even develop the ICS at your house to help with you and the kids and everything else that's going on a day-to-day basis. So, I mean, it doesn't have to be for a catastrophe or anything. Does that make sense? And how does this relate to data centers? Was specifically what she said before I weaved off on a little thing there, if you will. See, Mr. Curtis is right. I can talk about this all day long. And he said before, I survived TA, ICS shirt. That's what he wanted to do.
We'll have to make T-shirts for everybody.
May have to make Texas Coalition TCAD ICS shirts.
Yeah,
you survived TA's
great.
class. But the Incident Command Center is how I think it relates to the data centers and this particular thing. Because as I said before, and I've seen it in print now from media people, we are in a data center crisis. And so being in a data center crisis, there's a lot of the words being used, grassroots movements. Mm-hmm. And I see people forming, and I'm sure you've seen it too, because we're not always at the same location or at the same place. We see groups forming, and then people are talking out, and then all of a sudden they want to form a group, and then it seems like I'm just going to call it a core group. I mean, there's probably other words you want to use. There's, pick me, or I'm going to do it, or somebody steps forward, and then there's a selected few.
In the nonprofit world, we call that the doers group.
Okay.
Like, there's the people who will actually consistently show up, and so they get the majority of the tasks assigned to them, and because they show up, they continue to be the people who are assigned those tasks.
Okay. Well, what I've seen is in those doer groups as she described them, I see the same people there talking about it, and they're the ones doing it. And then once they talk or have their meeting and everybody goes away and Those people are the ones that are still tasked with doing this stuff. And if something fails, they're going to be the ones that are going to be finger pointing. People like to finger point, and I don't like the finger pointing by no means. We're all here. We, the people, we all need to be involved. We all need to be involved equally. And I think the ICS helps out with that whole process.
Yeah.
You can be involved and you can do something. I mean, it could be as little as a task of, moving a bottle of water somewhere, or, yes, guys, I'm going to say it here too. Anybody pretty much that can make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich to help somebody out if they're having a problem during this crisis.
Anybody?
Anybody pretty much can do that. So let's go over the
That's
ICS.
crazy. All right.
Okay. What do we got there first at the top? What does that say?
It says incident commander.
Incident commander. What I'm going to say about that is that's the person that has to have the most knowledge, skills, and ability about the particular task. I'm going to explain that to you. I'm pretty sure nobody wants me to be over something if there's a pandemic again. I don't think so. You probably want a doctor or somebody that's knowledgeable about that sort of thing, right?
I don't know.
Well, it depends on what doctor.
I was like, we thought we had a doctor, but
depends on what kind of doctor.
I plead the fifth.
Yeah, so I mean, it is one of those situations. You want the person with the most knowledge. If you have a shooting situation, you don't want to, no offense, fire guys, but you call the cop guy. And if you have a fire thing, you call the fire department guys.
Yeah.
So the person with the most knowledge about it. So in your group, you probably want to have somebody that has a broad knowledge about what's going on with the data centers and the data center world. Now, I'm not going to say you need one. It says incident commander. I would say you need at least 3.
And in terms of knowledge, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to have knowledge about how data centers work. It might be that you have knowledge about your community.
Yes.
Knowledge about the money that's being moved around. Knowledge about the project site, which might mean, a university professor or something like that.
And the knowledge that you're willing to put forth the effort to learn more stuff.
Yeah, somebody, a talker even.
Yes, a talker even, perhaps. Well, again, I would suggest at least 3 incident commanders. The reason I say 3 is usually, as y'all well know that are familiar with this, you want it to go around shifts because we're going 24 hours. Obviously, we're not. Well, I do feel like I'm going 24 hours lately. How about you?
Yeah, it's definitely become a 24-hour thing.
It's almost like being some kind of senior. I mean, we're on the road. Shout out there. We know who I'm talking about. And then all of a sudden we're in the production studio too. So, I mean, it's a lot of time moving around. But what I'm saying is 3 people. Somebody may have a family crisis. Somebody may have already had pre-planned obligations before even data centers were even being talked about. We did have lies before data centers wasn't cool. And, so you want at least 3 people there so somebody can go to the meetings. Somebody may have to go someplace else for something else. So you want to make sure you got at least 3. And I would suggest 3 in each one of these blocks. Okay? To be in charge.
Yeah. So the next one we have is a safety officer.
Safety officer. In this particular case, what I would suggest a safety officer related to the data center type thing is you may have to do a block party, meaning you have to walk around, get some signatures, do other kinds of things, walk around to just inform the public, pass out flyers, whatever that may be. That safety officer is responsible for everybody in the entire organizational chart to make sure they are staying okay, alert, hydrated, make sure they're not falling asleep, any other kinds of things. Because, I mean, some of these things, like I say, we've been up a lot of hours doing a lot of research and still had to go someplace the next day. That safety officer also is trying to communicate with perhaps you're doing that block party, I said, or the walk. They may want to talk to the local police department or local sheriff's office and go, hey, we're over here in this particular part of town. We're walking at such and such hours. So if somebody calls in and go, hey, we see some strange people and da-da-da, they already know what to tell them that it's people doing a block party, as opposed to trying to send officers over there to figure out what's going on. And you actually have a crisis someplace else. We don't want anybody hurt. No, we don't want nobody sick or anything else. We want to make sure everybody's doing what they need to be doing and resources are getting where they need to go within your community. So that safety officer would help with all those type of situations.
So somebody whose focus is on the safety of the group and the group
Exactly.
activities.
They would also probably monitor the weather conditions and things like that. So in case it's too hot to walk, they say, hey, we're going to have to postpone it to another day based on the people that they know that are in the group that are walking. They might also recognize that some of the people in the group may have, if they divulge it to them, hey, I got a special health issue, keep an eye on so-and-so,
Yeah.
that sort of thing too.
Yeah, we just had the protest at the Capitol, and we had people who brought ice things, who brought first aid kit, who brought sunscreen. So
that would
those
be
type
the
of
safety
things.
officer would be doing that, or that group of safety people under the safety officer also.
Yeah, I mean, I think the suggestion of having 3 for any of these positions is helpful.
And several of these are going to have even more than that as we go down. This is we're starting off with the command staff.
So the next,
it's usually a little smaller to the 3 that I'm talking about.
okay. So the next one's the public information officer.
I like to call that one PIO, putting information out. Okay, and kind of catchy, right?
Yeah, that works.
PIO, putting information out. That's what I always tell everybody. Mr. Curtis always liked that. Another shout out to him. It's easy to remember that way. You want to be sending the same message out to everybody, whether that's to the media or whether that's out to other groups that are interested, that are also doing data centers in your area. You may be in the same county, but you may have 2 or 3 different groups, in the county, depending on what city or area you're at. They may also communicate with people outside your county. So you got media and you got the other groups that they may be contacted. And there's a good chance that big data may want to contact your group, or media themselves may come straight to you instead of you going to the media.
We've
so
seen that happen a lot.
Instead of you putting information out, they want to come to you to ask questions. This PIO could help coordinate that information and set up those appointments and things like that with the right people in your group to be talking.
And making sure that the messaging is consistent regardless of who it is that came forward.
Exactly.
Okay, I got you.
Okay. And I'm trying to make it as easy as pie,
Yeah.
I like lemon pie. That's just a hint.
Okay.
We're nonprofit.
Nonprofit.
But I do like to eat.
The next one is the liaison officer.
Okay, the liaison officer is kind of special because he or she is a little different. The liaison officer has to talk to stakeholders outside the system, similar to the public information officer that only deals with the media. The liaison officer talks to people that may be speaking a different language or something of that nature. For instance, that liaison officer may be setting up stuff with other group organizations. I mean, we have noticed that when I say big tech, data centers, and I say the word stakeholders, that includes a lot of different things. That includes electrical lines. We had people at the Capitol talk about electrical lines.
Yeah.
I didn't address the electrical lines, but I'll let you talk to people that are the experts.
And the same with green energy.
Same with green energy. Same way with windmills, solar panels. Yeah, all of those type of things. These stakeholders can communicate to them. So the liaison has to be able, that person, he or she, the 3 of them, all have to be able to do everything in all these blocks. The incident commanders, the safety officers, and their job, and be able to do the other jobs below that as well. So they have to understand this framework, and they have to understand other people's framework.
So they're essentially, when you say liaison, they have a targeted audience that they are communicating with.
Or that other audience comes to them, like
Okay.
I say. I mean, it could be they're coordinating through some company or whatever that is trying to, because a lot of this is all, donated money or nonprofit and everything, these grassroots, they may be communicating with another nonprofit and coordinating those.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That have been there for years.
Yeah.
Because some
for the
of this
most part-
overlaps to other people.
Yeah, for the most part, the data center movement in Texas has been coordinated by a lot of grassroots people who haven't set up 501c3s or anything like that. But there are groups like Public Citizen.
Exactly.
I gotcha. And they're helping people learn how to do this advocacy work.
And this liaison might be communicating with them, and they be able to tell them where they might be able to find that cheaper bottle of water that the safety officer, didn't think about getting. Or maybe they might be communicating with a group that perhaps wherever you're at, or you're setting up maybe a brick and mortar place or something, and you might need ramps across Texas, and they might have to communicate with them to help get disabled people into your building to help talk about the data centers themselves. I mean, it could be lots of things.
So this is kind of an encouragement to use the resources that are already available in your community.
Yes.
And be intentional about it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we the people are all in this together. 85% of us right now do not want data centers. And I guarantee you there's probably, I'm going to take that number and I'm going to increase it to pretty much 90% of the people are confused about data centers.
I think that's pretty accurate. Not that they don't know something, but that everybody has a different something that bothers them about this.
Exactly.
And we're not really... United in Opposition has been a pretty accurate title for that, but what are we opposed to is a growing spectrum. The next one on here is planning.
Planning group is the one where you have people that are in that section that have information, and they're coordinating all that information that you're getting together and looking at it and seeing what we can do with it. That would be the group that are looking at it to see is if you got some information through public information request or whatever, the information you got, is that something that looks like it needs to be a complaint, and then who does it need to be filed with? So those are one of the things the planning group does. The other part of it is obviously they plan the meetings and they coordinate other things that have to do with the information that's going to be released to the PIO.
I got you. Okay. So that's planning.
Okay.
The next one we have on here is operations.
All right. Operations is just what it says. Those are what I would call the doers. And so they're always doing things. They're the ones that are out there. If you decide you want the public information request, the planners, I said, they get them. The doers go out there and get those public information requests. So if you got somebody that's super great at going through records and researching them and everything else and getting them from somebody, or has a really good rapport with your city folks and, can communicate and still follow the guidelines, you may want to put a few of those guys over there, or girls, in that particular section to be the doers. The other thing is those same doers that are getting those complaints after planning looks at them are the same people that are returning them back as a filed complaint now with different agencies, be it the ethics board, be it the ranger's office, or be it the AG's office, or all the way up to the FBI in some cases.
Are these also, would this also be the category that like the people who get petitions gathered fall under?
Yes.
Because we've had some great people doing that.
The other thing about that is if you think about operations as the doers, those are the people that are actually doing the walking parties.
Yeah.
Those are the people doing the door-to-door things.
And there's a lot of people in these categories that I'm trying to think of all the tasks that have come up as we've gone through the data center meetings, and it's like the public information. Yeah, public information at request takes a lot of time, and it's great when you have multiple people. Gathering petitions requires a lot of people. There are, people are hosting different things at like their homes and things like that. I mean, we've got a lot of people in that category. The next one on here is logistics.
Okay. I'm going to say that logistics and operations, however big your logistics is, operation is going to be just as big.
Okay.
I mean, because you can, keep, like we just said, you can draw a lot of lines off of that for different sections. So if you're getting something that's, logistics, then you're doing something over here in ops. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So if you're getting the water, then it's got to be distributed by the operation group. See what I'm saying? So if they're getting complaints over there, and they found stuff that needs to be done, and they pass it off, and then planning looks at it, and then it goes back to ops, and then they turn in the complaint. So I mean, there's a lot of things that they could be out there picking up for you, other than bottled water. I mean, there's a lot of people. As far as getting things, getting the signs ready, or that was a big
I was
thing.
Gonna say, like,
there was a group that did a lot of signs.
Yes, we had people who that was their whole thing before the rally is they designed some signs and then they printed them, and I'm sure that would go into planning and logistics. But when someone you have is really skilled at doing both, then that's great. And personally, I'd rather go get signs printed than be the person doing block walking. I'll do both, but if I were to be setting up an incident command response for my area, I think that you could probably divide those into one that's more public facing and one that's less, right?
Yeah, and if you think about logistics, being the person that are getting stuff and moving stuff around, whether it be getting the equipment or getting that, and when I say equipment, you may need some vehicles to get people from point to point, to drop them off, and then you may need to get vehicles to go pick them back up, or you may need vehicles to take that water to them, because obviously if they're out doing stuff in the Texas heat, the water needs to get to them. Part of the safety equipment. You may need to get a trailer to put your big sign on if you got a big giant sign. So I mean, there's lots of different things that you can get in this process. Some people even like shirts. You know, logistics could go pick up a order of shirts or boxes of shirts or boxes of cowboy hats if you're going to be wearing that, if they're donated or something. So, there's lots of things you can get supply-wise and pick up and move to where it needs to go.
Yep. And if you have the right liaison officer, you might get a better deal.
And I think we're short a liaison officer was what she's hinting
we
at.
We might need a little help there if you know anybody. Okay. We could also use help in this category. The last one's financial administration.
Yeah, finance and administration is pretty much self-explanatory. But if you're going to take in donations or all that, you're going to need to set up properly and legally and the right type of nonprofit organizations and things of that nature. And you're going to need to record those donations as they come in.
If you're going to call them donations. And if you're not familiar with the world of nonprofits, there's a donation and there are gifts and there are people who pay you. And if you tell people that they're making a donation and they find out at the end of the year that they can't file it with their taxes, they might get a little upset.
Distraught even.
You might get in a little bit of trouble depending on how much they gave you under the expectation that it was a donation. So, in an effort to save everyone on this movement some time, find somebody who's a little bit familiar with the financial side of things and ask for help.
The finance part also goes out there and tries to see, obviously, I mean, everybody wants a good deal, so they want to see if those shirts are the best shirts you can get with people. They also want to see if that's the best sign deal you can get, or the best advertisement on the radio, or the best advertisement you can get on a billboard or whatever.
Even the best place to donate, honestly, at this point where you're gathering the money is its own whole financial component. So.
And if you set it up like this, you look a little bit more organized, you look a little bit more structured, and in the long run, if you do set it up and you do go the route of taking in donations or getting to that organized level, I mean, these people feel a little bit more comfortable about donating money or doing things with you or donating gifts or whatever they may be. I mean, I haven't seen anybody donate a car yet or a sponsorship from a dealership yet, but
that'd be kind of fun.
Who knows?
I will say we've had people that are donating buses for people to get to the Capitol. That's a really big donation, especially for a group that doesn't have their 501c3. That's a really big deal, and that's why it helps to partner up with people like groups that have been existing for a long time for the purpose of preservation or. And I think we should throw this out there. If you have groups in your area that do like 4-H or long-term like agriculture preservation groups, this is a good time. I think we've reached the point where everyone in these groups understands that it's time to be involved. And if you're expecting that level of help, go with people who've had their 501c3 for a long time. So this is the incident command response.
And like she said, I don't know everybody's name or every person that's helped contribute resources, which would be like time, money, et cetera, for resources.
Time, talent, treasure.
Yeah, but I will say this. I mean, there's a good shout out to the folks that did donate those buses.
Yeah.
I mean, we're the Texas Coalition Against Data Centers. I mean, I know you donated buses directly to that particular group. Of course, they're part of our group as well, our neighbors. We're all in this together. And there has been a law firm, the way I understand it.
That was so cool. They did it on 2 channels.
Okay.
There were 2 channels that this law firm paid and sponsored to have the the rally at the Capitol live streamed into San Antonio, which is crazy.
And we want to shout out to you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. If you want to shout back to us in the comments or whatever, I'll be more than happy to name the bus company if y'all want us to. And I'll be more than happy to name the law firm. I mean, I want to be respectful of y'all's privacy at this point, but if y'all want to shout out about it, we'll be more than happy to mention you.
Yeah.
And
because we appreciate it.
And I do want to say a shout out to the people that definitely know that they're involved. All the country and western stars that are now being involved in this.
So fun.
It was very
So
important to you folks and the other folks that are celebrities. We know y'all been there too from the very beginning. We appreciate that. And there's a whole lot of people that are some unsung people. Don Price has been here for a long time, making some comments on the page. A shout out to you.
Oh man, we have a bunch of people who've been on the page since the very beginning. I'm trying to think. I'm like, I could gather that list. I'll gather that list for next time because we've had people who have been involved in the page, telling other people to get involved and actually showing up to meetings consistently.
And I mean, it's across all kinds of genres too. I mean, it's like I said, we mentioned the lawyers now have helped. The bus companies have helped. Obviously, the country and western singers, songwriters, have helped out a lot. I mean, there's been lots of farmers and ranchers, obviously, are involved in this.
Yep.
And I mean, this impacts everybody. If you, I would say, and I've posted it before, if you breathe, if you eat, if you pay bills, I mean, it doesn't matter where you're at. If you're in a county, a data center is going in, it's going to affect you wherever you're at. I mean, if
you're not in a county that a data center is going in, you might be in a county that a data center is going.
Yeah, you just don't know it yet.
They are expanding so quickly.
Well, that was the part about the incident command system. Like I say, you can put multiple people. I would suggest 3 people in each block to be in charge of the groups and everything under those blocks, though.
I'm gonna make a PDF version of this. I'm gonna post it with the video so you guys can download it, and I'll make some little lines where you can write in your people and have a way to, get started on this process and making it a little bit easier. We know that all of the counties and people that we've met, there's always at least 1 or 2 people that are carrying the whole process, and then there's another 20 people who want to be involved and don't know how to plug in. So hopefully this will help with that.
Thank you. We appreciate you being here, and we'll see you on the next episode.